We're back, just like Sisyphus rolling that boulder up that hill. We're just going to keep right on plugging along. It is Tuesday, the 31st day of March, 2020, last day of the month, and good riddance to March, if you don't mind my editorializing. It's been the strangest March in my memory, quite frankly, but we're almost done with March, going into April. Hopefully we'll start turning that corner. Lots going on today, weather-wise, lots of sunshine. But that trough that came in yesterday brought us all that wind and ushered in all that cold air with considerable snow in the mountain passes. Well, the trough is gone. The wind is all but gone, but the cold air is going to be hanging around for most of this week. Forecast details are coming up. We'll have your latest headlines. The news team was busy, even though it's kind of a strange scenario for us. As I mentioned before, about half of our staff working remotely. They can. We have the technological ability to do that. The other half are in here, doing our best to cobble together the news during this COVID pandemic. We have some COVID-related local news and some not COVID-related local news to get to. Also, we'll do sports, what there is. Again, it's just one of those things. And everything else we're used to. And at the back half of the hour, I had a chance to visit via Skype with Keith Masden, who works for AmeriCorp. Normally, Keith's job is going to all the schools in the North Central Washington area to talk about the dangers of opioid addiction. He can't do that anymore, so he's bringing his message to our viewers and hopefully to the kids out there via us, the NCW Live channel. I had a chance to talk with Keith via Skype yesterday. We'll have that for you in the back half of the hour. Important stuff from Keith, and that is the new normal, for lack of a better term, around here until we get through this. We won't be doing in-studio interviews. We won't be doing interviews remotely, which is what we normally do. Normally we go out and about and conduct our conversation portion of this program in the community. We're not even doing that. So we're doing everything via Skype because that's just the way we have to do it for the time being. We're trying to do our very best to observe what we need to observe and get us through what we need to get through. 3 minutes after the hour, let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras. We have this to look forward to every morning. Look at that beautiful sunrise. Sun's been up, has been up for about 25 minutes, roughly. Sunrise was 6:40 this morning. Sunset tonight, 7:30. Loving these longer days, 12 hours and 50 minutes of daylight. Yesterday's high, 54. That was below normal. Normally for this time of the year, late March, early April, we're around 60 for the afternoon high. Normally, where we weren't yesterday, and we won't be for a while. Overnight low yesterday was 34. Our normal's 38. Our highest wind speed yesterday, as measured up at Pangbourne, where they measure these things, 36 miles an hour was our highest wind speed. But we had a gust that got up to 43 miles an hour. It was an active and cool weather yesterday, and we're in for more of that today. A beautiful view from our cross camera at the very tip of Wenatchee Heights. We call it the cross camera. It's not physically attached to the cross, but the tower that camera is located is adjacent to the cross. That's why we gave it that name. All of our towers and cameras have names. Usually it's geographically oriented. We don't call them Bob and Jerry and Janet and Cheryl, and it doesn't make any sense. Camera number 2, I get to guess now. It's Monument Hill. Good morning to our friends out in Quincy. Beautiful view there. That, of course, that house that you see is Steve and Lynette Hare's summer home. It's their cabin. It's a fixer-upper. They like the rustic lifestyle. It's an old transmission shack. It's long been abandoned. New ones were built into the area at the top of Monument Hill. So there we go. Good view there. Thank you very much, Megan. Nice work. Camera number 3. Let's see what's happening at that beautiful view. That looks to be Badger. That's Badger Mountain. So the waving wheat, which, by the way, can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. I'm quoting Rogers and Hammerstein now. So the Wenatchee Valley way off in the distance. People have been doing pretty good about social distancing. Again, traffic is very light. Traffic's about 1/3 is what it would normally be. Again, there's no school. People are trying to observe as best they can the Stay Home, Stay Healthy initiative, social distancing. It's been a very quiet, almost eerie few weeks around the Wenatchee Valley with just so few people out and about. But that's what we need to do now. That's just what it is. So good morning to our friends at Badger Mountain. And finally, camera number 4. Great view of, that looks to be the Coles Corner camera, am I correct? Once again, the only reason I can tell that's the Coles Corner camera, and that's pointing almost directly to the east, is that little swath where there's no trees. That's where the power lines run to the west side of the state from our dams and hydroelectric facilities. So we say good morning to our friends up in the Lake Wenatchee area. That's a cool view, though, isn't it? That's cool. Really neat. Still some snow, obviously, up there. And the passes got hit pretty good with snow yesterday, and it's kind of a late season, late winter storms that are going to be still affecting the mountain passes today. We'll give you that pass report coming up in just a few minutes. So that's our tour around north central Washington, courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless setup. You know what that means. If you can have a line of sight to any of our Sky-Fi towers, and we got a lot of them all over north central Washington, out in the Columbia Basin, all the way down to Odessa. We got towers everywhere. If you can see the tower from where you live, you might be eligible for high-speed internet without fiber. Give Localtel a call. Everybody's online nowadays, isn't it? All right, from the National Weather Service, courtesy of Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, they give your home a hug. Not a bad day today. Again, as I mentioned before, that upper level trough is gone, so no wind today, but the cold air has been trapped and it will stay around, so we'll be lucky to get to 54 or 55 today with quite a bit of sunshine. Still a little wind left over, west wind today, about 6 to 13 miles an hour, but we're expecting quite a bit of sunshine, but that afternoon high temperature is, as you can see, below normal. We're going to get right down close to freezing tonight. With the overnight low of right around 33, no real wind to speak of. It's going to be fairly cloudy, though. The clouds are going to thicken up tonight as we work our way into Wednesday. Wednesday morning, we'll have quite a bit of cloud cover. Then the sun will come out. We could see a stray raindrop or two. Only 52. That's all we're going to get to on Wednesday. That's about 10 degrees below normal. All of these temperatures are below normal or even well below normal. Look at the overnight low. Wednesday night, below freezing. Below freezing on Thursday, below freezing on Friday for the overnight low. It's going to be chilly. Lots of sunshine Thursday, lots of sunshine Friday, but again, the cold air is kind of stuck here. It's not going anywhere. So we're going to see those afternoon high temperatures almost 10 degrees below normal, and those overnight lows a good 10 degrees below normal. Overnight lows usually around 38 or 39 for this time of year. So we're just a few passing clouds on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine today, few passing clouds Wednesday. Back to the sunshine Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday, a weak low system comes through. We'll have a mixture of clouds and sun. We'll top off at about 53 degrees. Sunday, we wrap up the weekend. Lots of clouds. Another day to shutter indoors. High of about 55 degrees. We go back to work on Monday. Well, kind of. Most of us, some of us anyway. Partly sunny Monday and a high near 58 degrees. It's fairly cloudy. High clouds right now outside of our studios, and we are sitting at 36 degrees at 8 minutes after the hour. To the major mountain passes we go, and this should be our last pass reports of the year, unless conditions require. Normally, our pass report season is November 1st to March 31st, but if conditions warrant, we will continue with the mountain passes. That's a live shot of I-90, Snoqualmie Pass. Traction tires are advised. It is snowing, and you will find snow and slush on the roadway. What you won't find on the roadway is traffic. Because, again, people are staying home, the ski resorts are closed, so there's not a car to be seen here at the summit of I-90. But again, winter driving conditions, traction tires are advised. We have a requirement on Stevens Pass. Stevens Pass is down there somewhere. Its traction tires are required. It's snowing, and heads up, folks, they're going to do avalanche control work on Stevens Pass at 8 o'clock this morning, and this is for both directions. So Stevens will be closed at milepost 58 on one side, milepost 64 on the other, which is the summit. They're going to do this at 8 o'clock this morning. All traffic will be stopped, and then of course they throw the explosives into the side of the hill. The snow comes down, they clean it up, and they let you go. So they don't know how long it's going to last. It depends entirely on how much snow comes down out of the highway. It could be a half an hour. It could be up to 2 hours. So heads up, in about 50 minutes, they're going to close Stevens Pass at the summit for avalanche control work. Right now, by the way, with snow coming down, traction tires are required. Traction tires are required, both directions on Stevens Pass. Blewett Pass doesn't look too bad. No advisories, no restrictions. You're good to go on Blewett Pass. So right now, the diciest is obviously Stevens Pass with the traction tire requirement. Again, they're going to close the pass at the summit for avalanche control work. They'll do that at 8 o'clock this morning. Traction tires are advised both directions on Snoqualmie Pass, and they are expecting snow today, about 4 to 5 inches of snow, and then that's it. Very little snow is in the forecast starting late this afternoon and going through the rest of the week. They're not expecting any significant snow, the occasional stray flake, and that is about it. So that's a look at your weather and a look at your passes at 10 minutes after the hour on this last day of March 2020. We're going to take a break and come back with your Tuesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I am a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bobfile Boats and Motors. If you're ready for a party on the water, check out the line of Sylvan pontoon boats at Bobfile Boats and Motors. Quarantine you and your family out on the water on a Sylvan pontoon boat. Distance yourself socially, but come closer together as family. See the Sylvan line of pontoon boats at Bobfile Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
36 degrees with some high clouds at 12 minutes after the hour. Quite a bit of sunshine today, cooler than normal temperatures, mid-50s if we're lucky. Quite a bit of sunshine for the balance of the week. Once again, your afternoon highs well below normal and your overnight lows below freezing for most of the rest of this week. And here's what's making headlines on this final day of March. A Wenatchee man charged with a violent domestic assault is in custody. Police spent 3 days trying to find him. Alex Mitchell Ruiz, 31 years old, allegedly fled from his family's apartment. This happened last Wednesday after threatening both his former partner and their minor children with a knife. The adult victim told police Ruiz forced open her door, shut the children in a bedroom, and held her captive at knife point for up to 45 minutes while making violent threats. The woman was able to flee to a neighbor's home and then called police. Ruiz was gone by the time Wenatchee police arrived. They found him on Saturday, booked him into the Chelan County Jail. He faces possible charges of kidnapping, burglary, assault, and felony harassment. Early Sunday morning, an alert citizen called in to report, hey, there's a burglary, I think that's going place on Wheeler Road at Stoneway Electric, as a matter of fact, in Moses Lake. A Grant County deputy was in the area, attempted to stop the suspect vehicle on Wheeler Road. Instead, the driver of the car chose to flee. He turned off his headlights, turned north into a field near International Paper. The vehicle, which was pulling a trailer and dropping wire, headed north in the dark until it hit the train tracks and was heavily damaged. Officers located the abandoned wreck a few minutes later. K-9 Rex immediately began to track from the crash site. In fact, the K-9 Rex tracked the suspect over a mile from the crash site all the way out to the Cougar campground in Wheeler. And that led him straight to the address on the suspect vehicle's registration. When officers made contact at that residence, evidence was located, and that led to the arrest of 62-year-old Patrick Thomason. He was booked in the Grant County Jail on charges of burglary, second degree, and malicious mischief in the second degree. COVID-19 related news. Chelan County's vacation rental operators say they stand ready to house emergency and medical personnel who need it during the COVID-19 crisis. Chelan County commissioners last week asked short-term landlords not to advertise their vacation homes to renters from outside the area and to reserve their vacation homes for medical staff and first responders. In a reply, the Short-Term Rental Alliance of Chelan County says it's asked the commissioners for details on how they can help, but they say their properties may be a reasonable alternative to hotels once the peak of the current health crisis has passed. Well, the world public health emergency has almost every business sector changing the way they do business. The ag industry is no exception to that. Washington Tree Fruit Association President John Devaney spoke with NCW Life about how orchardists around the state are weathering the storm.
Coronavirus, COVID-19, is really throwing a wrench into a lot of people's business plans. In terms of your industry, you represent the growers of Washington State. Can you tell us what you're hearing from growers right now? What kind of concerns they might be bringing up about coronavirus?
Well, a lot of concerns that every business and every resident in the state are having right now. First, food and agriculture are considered exempt and essential activities for remaining open and active during a lot of the stay-at-home orders and the social distancing orders that are coming out of the state, local, and national governments. I think we saw people's recognition of the importance of food when, as soon as they started to hear about the virus, their first response was to run to the grocery stores and clear the shelves. So a lot of of our shippers and growers have been under pressure to keep food moving, to refill those distribution centers for our various national grocery store chains so that people can get food when they do venture out to keep their families fed by going to the store. Unfortunately, we can't fix the toilet paper situation, but we can make sure they have apples and pears and soon cherries in the stores as they go out. Our growers and packers are also concerned about the safety of their employees because to do all of that, we need people, both to pack and pick and grow fruit. And so these shippers and growers are asking a lot of questions about what can they do to balance the desire to keep their employees safe and that responsibility with the responsibilities they have to keep food on the store shelves. And those are hard to figure out, and everyone is doing the very best that they can. And it is a different situation than we're used to dealing with government orders. I've been reminding a lot of my members who are frustrated with the lack of clarity in some cases that we're used to government orders coming down through proposed rulemakings with months of comment and then several months before an order actually takes effect so you can figure out exactly what it is you need to do to be compliant. In this case, we're talking about a quick response where government is saying, issuing broad orders and then issuing clarifying guidance in the following days. So we are getting that advice from government, but it often comes after the initial response is ordered. What we've been focusing on is a lot of things that our growers and packers already do for food safety reasons. Enhanced hand washing, sanitizing facilities on a regular basis, making sure that if an employee has any symptoms of illness, they know that they shouldn't be reporting for work. They should be taking a sick day. And that is not only important for making sure that no contaminants are in the food supply from any source, but also that in this coronavirus outbreak, that employees are not infecting unintentionally their colleagues and coworkers.
We'll have that complete conversation with Jefferson Robbins and Mr. Devaney on tomorrow's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Governor Jay Inslee's office wants to reassure all of us here in North Central Washington there's no need for a letter of transit, so to speak, to move about in public during the coronavirus emergency. Some employers in essential industries have been providing voluntary letters vouching for their employees. Now, Salvador Salazar, who's the governor's liaison for Central Washington, said that's led to rumors that official letters are needed just to go about your day, especially among those whose first language is not English. Salazar sent a memo Sunday to partner agencies to squelch those rumors. Among other steps, the State Department of Health has launched a Spanish language blog to keep more residents informed during the crisis. Emergency managers in the upper Wenatchee Valley are asking outdoor users to change their ways to make social distancing easier. The fire districts and health providers serving the far western area of Chelan County have one unified command during the COVID-19 crisis. In a statement over the weekend, they asked recreationists to avoid group activities, avoid outdoor sites where people are already congregating, give 6 feet of space to other users of local trails, and avoid risky pursuits like rock climbing, bouldering, or high mountain skiing. All of these steps help limit the spread of coronavirus and reduce the need for rescues and medical treatment. They got enough stuff on their plate as it is. Oh, one more little item of business I wanted to pass along to you. This is no surprise. The Washington State Department of Licensing are going to temporarily close all of their offices. That's starting today, of course, in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Essentially, they need to disinfect a lot of stuff, and a lot of that stuff is simply hard to come by. So the Department of Licensing is canceling all scheduled appointments. They're not taking new ones. Now, remember, if you're a Washington resident and your driver's license is about ready to expire, most of you can simply renew your driver's license online. So just a heads up there. If you need to go to the Department of Licensing for driver's licenses stuff, you can't for a while. It is 20 minutes after the hour. The news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, anchored by Grant Olson with Eric Granstrom handling sports. And with a preview, here's Grant.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, it looks like below normal temperatures the rest of this week. I'll have your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And self-quarantining, Eric Granstrom will have a look at sports from his house. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. Hope you'll join us then. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. Don't forget to get a hold of us, and you do. In fact, I got a local celebrity birthday coming your way here in just a few minutes. We'd love to hear from you, our viewers. You can pick up the phone and give us a call at the number you see at the bottom of your screen. The best way, at least personally speaking, is email, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com. We never miss any of those. We never miss a Facebook post. So go to our Facebook page and drop us a little line via Facebook Messenger. Or if you go to our website, which, by the way, has a lot of super handy little links and things that you need to know about COVID-19. It's been put together on a daily basis by Cal Fitzsimmons. It saves you a lot of time. It's all right there. It's kind of a clearinghouse. Go to ncwlife.com, and at the top of the page, you'll see the Contact Us icon. You can drop us a line that way. 21 minutes after the hour, 36 degrees. We'll have sunshine for the most part through the rest of the week, but cool temperatures as we say goodbye to March and welcome April. We got sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, some celebrity birthdays on their way. Everyone's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion, and my conversation with Keith Masden talking about the opioid pandemic and how the coronavirus pandemic and the opioid pandemic are kind of both an issue, as a matter of fact. All that coming up between now and the top of the hour. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
It's gone on 4 decades of doing business in the Wenatchee Valley. And I want people to know that it matters. It matters to me that people choose to do business with us. It matters that people trust us, trust us. That matters more than anything.
We're back at 23 minutes after the hour. Let's do sports. Hey, the NCAA has decided they're going to grant an extra year of eligibility to all student athletes who participate in spring sports whose seasons were canceled because of the pandemic. And it's not just for seniors, it's for all spring sports players. That's good news. According to details within the decision, it'll be up to the individual schools to decide whether to grant seniors in spring sports less or equal financial aid next year. And in addition, the vote included an increase in the roster limit for baseball. That's the only spring sport that has a roster limit. The decision now is up to the schools on what they can afford for those returning seniors who might not have a scholarship to help pay for an extra year of school next year. This is the time of the year when college football programs conduct their spring workouts, but with COVID-19, of course, running the show, teams are having to do without spring workouts. In addition, the Pac-12 has extended its suspension of organized activities through the end of May. The conference's decision says there will be no organized in-person team activities of any type. So no in-person voluntary workouts, no film study sessions, no meetings, no technique drills, no practices of any type, no virtual or online supervised voluntary workouts. There's a limited availability for virtual group activities such as film study. Locally, spring athletes are trying to do what they can to stay ready if and when spring sports might resume. It's caused a lot of people to get creative. Former Wenatchee Valley Thunder lacrosse player and now coach Mason Dahlbeck has a tip for you lacrosse players out there.
Play wall ball, all right? It's the best way to better yourself during this COVID-19 shutdown. All it takes is your stick, a wall, in my case, a piece of plywood, or any hard surface works, concrete if you got it, and your stick. You just throw the ball against the wall a butt ton, all right? The way I do it, start in your offhand. 50 straight reps, then put it in your strong hand. 50 straight reps. If you drop it, you start over at 1. Back to your offhand. 50 straight reps, offhand quick stick, strong hand. 50 straight reps, strong hand quick stick, and then just to finish it off. 50 50 reps in your offhand. If you have the best stick skills on the field, your coach will have to play you. This is the best way to better yourself during this COVID-19 shutdown. You can get amazing beats of plywood like this at Home Depot or Lowe's if they're still open. Make sure you wash your hands when you go to get it. And yeah, that's all. Get better.
I wonder what his neighbors think of that. What's Mason doing? What's going on there? By the way, we're going to feature lacrosse from last year coming up on our sports broadcast schedule. In fact, let's take a look at it. It begins tonight. If you want to check it out, we're going to rebroadcast the Kuntz Wenatchee boys soccer game tonight at 7 o'clock. Going back to hockey nights on Thursday nights, this week we'll feature the Wenatchee Wild and Langley, the Rivermen. That's Thursday night at 7 o'clock. On Friday, we have Eastmont and Sunnyside. Boys soccer at 7. On Saturday, we got boys lacrosse at 2 between the Wenatchee Valley Thunder and Sealer, and that's followed by more Wenatchee Wild hockey as they take on the Salmon Arm Silverbacks. The State Department of Fish and Wildlife has updated their closures. It's extended now to the spring bear and youth turkey hunts. The youth turkey hunt, which was scheduled for this upcoming weekend, is canceled. 6 game management units that were scheduled to open tomorrow for spring bear hunting will now be closed, pending further evaluation. According to the department, nearly 90% of spring bear permit holders in Northeast Washington would be traveling from outside the area, and they're trying to avoid that. Youth who were planning to hunt on April 4th or 5th may still use their tags in the regular spring or fall turkey seasons, pending further impacts. The spring turkey season, scheduled to run April 15th through May 31st. Fish and Wildlife will reassess its ability to open the impacted hunting areas on April 6th. That's the schedule. Anyway, Eric Granstrom and his wife Marion, like the rest of us, are trying to stay home as much as they can. They love to go camping, they love to go fishing, but they can't. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're staying home and staying healthy. So they decided to go fishing and camping in their own backyard.
And Marion and I are like the rest of you. We're stuck without the ability to go and travel. We were hoping to go camping this weekend. We were hoping to go fishing this weekend. But we have found a great solution. We are camping in the backyard. You can see the camper behind me. We're also fishing in the backyard. So let me show you what we're using here. We've got a single slow death hook right here. And we're using just a single night crawler. So we're going to thread this night crawler onto the hook here. And we're going to see if we can find something that's going to bite here. And Marion had her music going a little bit ago. It would be perfect. So we're going to thread this on the hook and put that little dude on there. And thread the worm up the slow death hook.
Oops, sorry.
This does a nice spin in the water. So there we go. Oh, there's the music. Cool. All right, so that's all it does right there. So I'm going to cast that in the water, and we're going to see what we're able to find here. Fishing in the dark. Here we go. Okay. All right, Marion. Marion's had her rod in the water for a while, and she should be about to the point where she's getting a bite.
Aren't we supposed to be in the boat?
Well, we can't because
Oh.
all the launches are closed. So Marion is fishing right now
In the dark.
in the dark. So Marion, are you feeling anything? She's got that slow death hook and a night crawler.
It's kind of doing that pouncy thing.
Okay, give it some line. No, don't reel. Give it a little line. Don't. Just.
No, I want you to do it because I don't want to lose it.
Well, you got to give it some line, honey.
Okay, here
Honey,
you do it.
honey,
you
is
do
it
it.
is it still there? Are you still feeling the bite?
I feel that tap thing.
Okay, all right. Okay, hold on. Okay, you gotta give it line,
Okay.
and then you gotta set the hook. Oh yeah, gotta set the hook, baby.
Okay.
Set the hook. Oh yeah. Woohoo! We are eating tonight. Woo! There you go. That's how you do backyard fishing.
I can't wait for sports to return. We miss you around here, Eric. Those are just some of the games that people aren't playing at the bottom of the hour. Once again, I had a plethora of obscure holidays to choose from. Today is National Prom Day for most schools. That's on hiatus. Today is National Clams on the Half Shell Day. Sounds good to me. National Bunsen Burner Day. Why would the Bunsen burner have its own day? I don't know. It's National Tater Day. Not Potato Day, but Tater Day. Nope, we're going to go with National Crayon Day, National Crayon Day. I did a lot of research yesterday. Nobody really knows when crayons were invented. They think sometime in the mid-16th century, but nobody really knows. The word crayon comes from two Latin words, crayle, which means chalk, and creta, which means earth. Don't know what that means either. Obviously, when we think of crayons, we think of Crayola, the iconic brand, which started back in 1902. But in fact, between 1903 and 1998, Crayola created about 120 different colors, but they've also retired since 1998 about 50 colors. I got some fun facts about crayons. The smell of crayons is considered one of the most recognizable smells for adults in the U.S. You smell a crayon and your whole childhood comes flashing back to you. How many crayons does Crayola make in a calendar year? 3 billion. It's a lot of crayons. The favorite crayon color, the most popular one, is blue. Simple enough. The 10 billionth crayon manufactured was made personally by Fred Rogers in a special episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood back in 1996. The color, by the way, was blue ribbon. And in 1962, Crayola changed the name of the color flesh to the color peach. And a lot of people are coloring nowadays as they woodshed inside their homes. Happy National Crayon Day today. I haven't colored in years. Maybe I should do that. 32 minutes after the hour. Let's do Today in History. Happy birthday to the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower opened its doors to the public on this date, March 31st, 1889, 131 years ago. The Eiffel Tower is now temporarily closed. As you might imagine, one of the iconic, if not the iconic, I mean, you see the Eiffel Tower, you think Paris, you think France. It's a pretty cool building. That's a postcard from the opening festivities. The Eiffel Tower opened on this date 131 years ago today. I've never seen it. Never been to France. It was a bad idea on March 31st, 1918. It's a bad idea now, but today is the anniversary of Daylight Saving Time. Daylight Saving Time went into effect for the very first time in this country, March 31st, 1918, 102 years ago today. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's stupid. Changing the clocks in the spring and the fall is stupid. I've been against it for 40 years. Finally, we're making some progress, but of course we can't either go to all daylight saving or all standard time unless the Congress gives us the okay, and the Congress has yet to do that, nor are they planning on doing that anytime in the near future. Will of the people, well, you know. Happy 71st birthday to the 45 RPM record and the beginning of the demise of the 78 RPM record. RCA began developing the 7-inch 45. They call them 45s because they spin at 45 revolutions per minute. They were working on it for years. They started in 1940, and then, of course, because of the war, they kind of quit working on it. But then the war ended. They got better and better. It offered much better fidelity than the 78 RPM record, and the RCA Victor Company rolled out the 45 RPM record on this date 71 years ago today, March 31st, 1949. That's an actual advertisement from the New York Times on that day. Of course, 45 RPMs were a staple of my childhood. Still got a bunch. I don't know why, but I do. Happy birthday to the 45. March 31st, 1951, 69 years ago today, that is the UNIVAC 1, as manufactured by Remington Rand, and it was delivered to their very first customer, the United States Census Bureau. The UNIVAC 1 computer. It used about 5,000 vacuum tubes. It weighed about 7.5 tons. It took up 382 feet of floor space, and they still used it for years, even though it was almost outdated the day they delivered it. But the UNIVAC 1 went into operation 69 years ago today. And finally, March 31st, 1968, President Lyndon B. Johnson addressed the nation. The speech was called Steps to Limit the War in Vietnam. It was broadcast across the country on all the major networks and all the major radio stations. The speech lasted about 45 minutes, and at the very end of the speech, Lyndon Johnson, who was eligible to run for the presidency in 1968, stunned America with this announcement.
I do not believe that I should devote an hour or a day of my time to any personal partisan causes or to any duties other and the awesome duties of this office, the presidency of your country. Accordingly, I shall not seek and I will not accept the nomination of my party for another term as your president.
Only 3 people knew that was going to happen. President Johnson himself, his wife, Lady Bird Johnson, he told her right before he went on national television, and of course the guy who ran the teleprompter because he had to load it into the system. Lyndon Johnson said, I'm not going to run again. 36 minutes after the hour, let's do some birthdays. I listened to a little Johann Sebastian Bach over the weekend. Can't go wrong with the Brandenburg Concertos. That's good stuff. One of the most significant composers of classical music ever. He was born in the state in 1685, died at the age of 65 in 1750. It's good stuff. What's the old joke? Who's your 3 favorite classical composers? Well, Johann Sebastian Bach. Those are my 3 favorites. Happy birthday, Bach. Still good stuff. Shirley Jones is 86 years old today. There she is. She was in Oklahoma. She was in Carousel, The Music Man. Her whole, she was Shirley Partridge in the Partridge Family. She was the wholesome goody two-shoes of actresses in the 1950s and 60s. And yet she won an Academy Award for playing a prostitute in Elmer Gantry. Talk about not typecasting. She knew when she took the role as Shirley Partridge in the Partridge Family that her agent said, you're going to be typecast as goody two-shoes Shirley Jones for the rest of your life. And she said, nerds to it. I'll do it anyway. Shirley Jones is 86 years old today. Herb Alpert, 85 years old today. He has a unique claim to fame. He is the only guy, the only artist to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, both as a vocalist, This Guy's in Love with You, hit #1 in 1968, and as an instrumentalist, Rise. Went to #1 back in 1979, and he made a lot of money with his partner Jerry Moss as the owners and founders of A&M Records, Alpert and Moss. Herb Alpert, 85 years old today. Christopher Walken, 77. Hi, Christopher. How are you? More cowbell. He was so good in The Deer Hunter. He got the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in The Deer Hunter, and he deserved it. He's a great actor. He's 77 years old today. Everybody's favorite South Korean rapper, of course, is Bang Young-guk. There he is. How are you, Bang? Bang Young-guk is 33 years old today. This is fun to say. I got some celebrity birthdays I want to pass along to you. John Penfold phoned this in. Don't have pictures, I'm sorry. John Penfold phoned this in yesterday to us. We wanted to wish Matt Scott a happy 20th. Matt Scott, 20 years old today. Again, John phoned that in for you, Matt. My nephew Stephen celebrates a birthday today. 30-something? Late 30s? Sorry, Stephen, I forgot how old you are. And Carly J., my niece Carly J., who's in self-quarantine in Spokane, turns 21 years old today and will not be bar hopping, such as it is. Happy birthday, Carly. Happy birthday, Stephen. We love you. 39 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. Mike Magnotti's got an opinion, and then a very important conversation I had yesterday with Keith Masden of AmeriCorp. Coronavirus, opioids. They have more in common than you think. That conversation with Keith is coming up. You're watching Wake Up at Anchi Valley on the NCW Life channel.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
You want to help others. You need a solid career. You can have both with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, stop by our campus at 595 Grant Road across from Safeway, or visit chartercollege.edu.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Owner Andrew Vickery brings years of experience to help you transition your backyard into a place where memories are made, family time is looked forward to, and friends are always welcome. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa offers many different styles and sizes of artesian spas, both new and used, as well as residential and commercial pool and spa services, regular maintenance and repairs, and all the chemicals required to keep your pool and spa crystal clear. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
I'm Dr. Wayne Latimer. I'm a chiropractic physician. I have postgraduate certifications in both whiplash, trauma, and rehab, as well as sports medicine. The location is great. The light and the visibility, the 17-foot ceilings are fantastic. You can go into a lot of clinics, and it's very clinical. People really like the spa environment, so my whole premise was take a spa environment, add the very serious rehab, and give people an enjoyable way to get better over time.
This is Mike, Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, a gal I took out on a date once, her parents laughed at me. Well, they didn't laugh at me, but they laughed later on about me after I brought their daughter home. Now, their daughter, she was a nice clean-cut girl, kind of the girl next door kind of gal, and I was a hippie, long hair, short, shirt untucked, and a clothing style that could only be called alternative. Well, I guess I was not the kind of boy that they thought their daughter would attract, and they found me amusing. Well, I wish I could run into those folks now. I'd like to see those people look them in the eye and say, yeah, I was a slob then, and I'm a slob now, so your amusement is justified. Yep, this is Mike, Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion.
The two hottest pickups in America are at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. First, the Ram 1500 with back-to-back Truck of the Year awards from Motor Trend, and now the Car and Driver 10 Best list for 2020. They call it a luxury sedan with pickup capabilities. Ram is on a roll now with third-generation eco-diesel power. Next up, the Jeep Gladiator, also a 2020 10 Best model based on the new award-winning Jeep Wrangler. It has options and capabilities that no other truck can offer. Two more reasons when it comes to buying a truck: there's no reason to leave town.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around north central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Pybus Public Market shops are open for business online while the concourse is closed. Go to www.pybusmarket.org, click on the red Pybus Market and COVID-19 button to shop online. There you will find current information you need for each merchant. We thank you for your support of our Pybus Market merchants during this time. Arlberg Sports, D'Olivo, Balsam Root Boutiques, Anderson Family Farm, The Cheesemonger's Shop, and Jones of Washington.
Welcome back. My name is Dan Kuntz. You know that already. The man to the left or right of me, depending on whether your screen is upside down or right side up, is Keith Masden. Keith works for AmeriCorp. Normally, his day-to-day job is to go to the area schools and talk about the opioid pandemic. Pandemic is now the buzzword of the day. Unfortunately, Keith can't do that right now because there's no school, but the problem of opioids hasn't gone away. First of all, Keith, thanks for reaching out to us. I appreciate it.
Yes, very much so. I appreciate the ability to be able to hear on your program.
Keith, let me start out with this. Obviously, you're kind of in a mothball situation, kind of a standby situation. If you weren't Skyping with me on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, what exactly are you doing in relation to your job with AmeriCorp?
Well, I'm studying videos about the opioid epidemic, and I'm trying to get in touch with people that can get my message out by video. I'm learning new video methods like Skype, much before, but use Zoom and others right now. So I'm trying to find out ways of getting that message across to parents and teenagers that there are two pandemics going right now. One is the coronavirus, which is very, very dangerous, very important. But the other is also, and that is the opioid pandemic. There have been 60 to 70,000 deaths each year in our country from drug overdose, and most of those have been due to opioids. And that's not going to stop because of the coronavirus. In fact, it might make it worse because there are several things that interrelate in a bad way with that. One being, people turn to drugs often because of times of stress. And this is definitely a stress. And social isolation not going to help that. I mean, I'm not criticizing the need for social distancing, but it does create a problem for the opioid pandemic. Now, I talked to the people at the Central Washington Recovery Coalition, and they are doing as many Zoom meetings as they can. But not everybody who has a problem with opioids is going to have access. And also a face-to-face time together with somebody who's giving you support is also has some very big benefits. Sometimes you just need a hug. And that doesn't happen very well over video. So the interrelationship is not good. And then, of course, we can't get the drug education out to the school system, which is what I'm trying to do. And I know that Together for Youth also has provided drug education information for the school systems. I'm not quite sure what they're doing, but I don't have they're able to get that out. So what I'd really like to do is to be able to get parents to connect with me, and they're needing to do some at-home education. And if they could do that and get in touch with me, I could provide for them opportunities for having information on the opioid pandemic that they can talk to their kids about. So that's what I'd like to do.
Keith, let me ask you this. When you're out and about, before this all happened and everybody is in this kind of a self-quarantining, social, physical distancing thing, when you were visiting the various schools in Chelan and Douglas counties, did you get a feeling that your message was coming across to the kids? Because kids are kids. Teenagers are teenagers,
Yeah, I did. I very much did, especially with some middle schoolers, a number of middle school classes. And, I guess it's a little bit bragging to say that on a number of occasions I got applause at the end of the presentation. I felt really good about that. But even more, I've gotten kids to come up and talk to me about specific issues. A couple of kids, one of the problems with the opioid pandemic is that parents are getting addicted. And when that happens, the kid is left with no one at home to care for them many times. And after presentations, I've had middle schoolers come up to me and say, yeah, I am in a foster home because my parent or parents were addicted. And just to be able to talk to me. And I've had other kids tell me that, one of the issues with the opioid pandemic epidemic is children who are born of an opioid-addicted mother are addicted. And I talked to one kid, one of the local schools, that was true of him. He was born addicted because his mother was. And he told me that, I was asking questions and talking to the kids about the information I have on opioids, and he knew almost as much as I did already. He was in the 7th grade. Sometimes we like to think that kids don't know this stuff, but they do. And one of the issues I try to help them with, too, is that, in the old DARE program, which had a lot of good things about it, but they found out that in the old program, some kids actually were drawn to drugs. And part of the problem is that when a teenager has not learned that life can be good, then sometimes it's not so scary that they might. And I try to let them know that life is good. And I think that's so important for them.
You mentioned that there's probably a lot of kids. I mean, mom's not working, dad's working. They're still holding down a job despite what's going on. And now Bobby is home alone more than he has ever been home alone before. What do parents need to look for? What are some of the warning signs that Bobby might be going off the train tracks a little bit here?
Well, that's a very good question. One of the issues that becomes they no longer seem to enjoy what they used to enjoy. The thing that happens with opioid drugs is that it kind of hijacks the brain. It turns that person into a different person. And the way it does that is that it unnaturally stimulates the dopamine in your brain to give you this high. But what that does is that it becomes a substitute for natural ways of developing dopamine. It's like a muscle that is not used, atrophy. And the system that we have in our brain can also, in that sense, atrophy. It used to be that you have great friendships. Doesn't matter anymore. Used to be you enjoyed being with your family. Doesn't matter anymore. Used to be that you enjoyed sports before. Doesn't matter anymore. Only thing that matters is the drug. And so those are some of the big signs that you have. And parents do need to pay attention. And one of the things that I think would be good for parents to take time to talk to the kids about is what makes life good.
And then there's also this, Keith, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm also a little concerned about just sheer boredom. I'm stuck here at home. I got nothing better to do. I'm going to go visit the medicine closet, the medicine cabinet in the bathroom and see what happens.
It's absolutely true that can be a problem. And parents and families do need to be aware of that issue and to lock away powerful drugs. And that's just so important, to get a lockbox and put that in there. And if you have had an opioid for some sort of condition and you're not using it anymore, which I think there are a lot of people that's the case, you've got to return that. You can take that, return it back to the hospitals, their special return places, and not keep it. Don't throw it away because people will find that.
Yeah.
Don't throw it down the toilet because that doesn't help our water system too much. But rather give it back to the return places.
Keith, I'm going to ask you one more question. I'm going to cut you loose. I know you're a busy guy, and this is going out specifically to those people who are dealing with an opioid addiction problem. They're going to need their fix, and 6-foot social distancing or not, they're going to try and get their fix, and they're putting their health at risk, aren't they?
They are absolutely putting their health more at risk than already would have been. I mean, it's always at risk when you go out and get your fix, especially if you're getting street drugs, because more and more of those contain fentanyl, and that's 100 times stronger than heroin. And I was at a conference not long ago in Seattle, and they were talking about how they had seized in 2018 over 200,000 pills off the street, and 99% of them contained fentanyl. And I talked to people here locally. Fentanyl is in the local community as well. What I'd like parents to do, though, is to contact me at my email. And I can give out information either in written form, or I can set up Zoom meetings with a number of parents to present material. But that email is Keith M, Keithm, at cdcac.org. If they can contact me, I would love to be able to get out there to them directly.
Keith, I'm very happy that you reached out to me, and I want you to keep up the good work. I still think, obviously, and you must agree with me here, the message that you're trying to get across would be much more, would be better if you could do it in person in classrooms with the kids, but if this is the best we can do with right now, this is what we're going to be dealing with right now.
You do what you can.
Yep. Keith, again, I appreciate you reaching out to me, my friend.
And I appreciate you, Dan, for having this on your program.
I appreciate it, Keith. Take care.
Okay, you too.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with Black Rock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local Black Rock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive. No nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family owned and operated, Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Cashmere. Affordable care.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine-in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs. And we are back with about a minute to go on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's end where we began. That weather forecast. Lots of sunshine today, but that cold air that came through with that upper level trough is going to be hanging around pretty much all week long, as you can see. We're going to have sunshine today, but we're only going to get up to about 54 degrees. Overnight low tonight just above freezing, 33 degrees. We'll see mostly sunny skies on Wednesday, but we can't rule out a morning raindrop. We're going to cloud up a little bit tonight. We're only going to get to 52 on Wednesday. Overnight low Wednesday night into Thursday, below freezing, 29. Again, below freezing right into the weekend. But lots of sunshine Thursday, but we're only going to get to 51. That's about 10 degrees below normal. We'll be lucky to get to 51 or 52 on Friday. Again, sunshine, there's your trade-off, but temperatures below normal. In fact, well below normal. Then a gradual warming trend as we get into the weekend, but we'll see more clouds roll in as well. So enjoy the sunshine, but be sure to practice social distancing or physical distancing, as the case may be, whatever term you want to use. If you're out and about and you're getting a little stir crazy, you want to get a little vitamin D, do it. Just be safe and smart about it. Everybody have a good and safe day. We'll see you Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.